Mambo Italiano, hey, hey, mambo.
They can't take me for no fool. I believe, pull me down, will you listen, never lie to me? Are you gonna ride with me? Pull me down, will you listen, never lie to me? Listen.
I have an interesting thought today. To think about how people use this feng shui to help them to advance their career, to achieve their wealth. I mean, that's what nowadays we use this feng shui for. But if you think about back then, way back then in like thousands of years ago in China, and how would someone use feng shui? And remember, way back then, normal people, regular folks like you and I, don't get to use feng shui. Only the powerful people, the empress, the emperor, and the high-ranking official. They are the people who have access to feng shui. Regular people do not have access to feng shui. So if you think about how would those powerful, wealthy people already use this feng shui? I'm sure that, of course, like anybody else, they will use feng shui to get more money, more power, right? You think, right? I think power is somebody never get. I say power and wealth is. It would be hard for someone to get tired of. How's that? That's how we like to say that. So I don't know what crossed my mind. It's really weird this morning. I just thought of, the only female. Well, I think it's because of. Oh, thank you, Lavender. I actually put on makeup today. I have an important meeting I have to go to after this, so I can only stay for a little bit, but I want to share the thought with you guys today because we're coming into period 9. Period 9 meaning women are coming into power, right? They're coming into power, so more and more women, thank you, Lavender, for the gifts. They're coming into power. So as you see now, it's already happening. We have Kamala Harris. We have a lot of women are coming into power, into important positions. Okay. And so I'm thinking like way back then. And I kind of did a little Google. The only female empress in China who ruled China was Empress Wu Zetian. All right. She was like the only female that ever ruled China. It always has been male emperor, Well, the Chinese culture was still paying, how I say, they favorite men. It's like most society, I hate to say it like that, they favorite men. And enter the imperial court at the young age as a concubine. Mind you, as a emperor, you have like hundreds of concubines. Okay? Why would she come to power? She had to kill off a lot of a lot of people ahead of her, or how she's going to climb over those people ahead of her. What makes her special, right? If you think about what makes her special, she's a powerful woman, obviously, very smart one. When the emperor died, she's in the Tang Dynasty, okay? She started Tang Dynasty. When the emperor, God, I can't even pronounce these. Obviously, it's in English, I'm like trying to how does that relate to Chinese pronunciation? But anyway, when the emperor died, she came into power. She put her own son on the throne first, and then she ruled behind the curtain. That's how she ruled, behind the curtain, okay? And I was thinking why, I'm just thinking okay, I'm a very ambitious woman, obviously. But how did she come from being a concubine? Concubine is like nothing. It's dime a dozen in a sense, in the emperor's eye, because if I like the way she moves, okay, let's take her bring her back to the court with us. Bring her back to the whatever, not the castle, but the Forbidden City. Actually, that's back then. How did she come into power? And then, you know what I did? So she, in 690 AD, she declared herself as the Empress of Zhao. Okay? And she make her own dynasty. She created her own dynasty and lasts until 705 AD. But she was ruling way before then. She was ruling already while her husband died. After her husband died, and put her son, since she's the favorite, so she put her son in power. But the son was, I think it was like 2 years old or something, really like 2 or 3 years, very, very like a baby. But she come into power. She ruled behind the scene. Yeah, because women were not allowed. It's not like Western kings and queens sit together. Okay, in China, in China back then, kings and queen does not sit in the throne together. Only the king, the emperor, sit in the throne, and only he rules. All the women are not supposed. Okay, so let's put it this way. Way back then, women are not supposed to be educated. Women are not supposed to have rights. Basically, women are actually properties of men. That is how, when we look at your body chart, that's how it's represented. Women represented as properties of men. I know, ladies, it's not fair. I have a lot of female followers in my group here. I know it's not fair, but that's how it was. That's how it was. So, and then I was like, let me do some correlation, right? Remember, she came into power. She established her own dynasty at 690 AD. And it lasted until 705. And I think until her death. I think it's until her death. Anyway, it was between, get this number now, around 618 AD. The compass, I'm going to show you. Remember the compass that I've been talking about, the feng shui compass that we still use nowadays? This piece of information was used. The compass that we use over when I do feng shui, and you can download that free on my bio.asantemi.com. You can get that for free. The thing is, I was wondering how a woman, an educated woman who's a concubine, can come into power and rule China. China is huge. Even nowadays, it's huge on the map. Back then, they go into a lot of war to the neighboring country, for land. It's all for land. So, I was going back on my feng shui history numbers. In about 618 AD, the feng shui compass with the 24 mountain ring compass that we are still currently using right now. It was used back then. So I am sure she have a feng shui master's help. If you guys think about it, if you guys really think about it, how can she come to power? I mean,
here are the leaves of 5 plants that are absolutely miraculous and maybe right in your backyard. Is the Moringa oleifera leaf. The leaf of this plant can be used to make a tea, can be dried to make a powder to go in your smoothies and soups. This plant has almost 60 nutrients, including minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and it's used to treat over 300 diseases, especially malnutrition, diabetes, hypertension, and many cancers. Next up is the mango leaf. The leaf of almost any mango tree contain nutrients that are powerful to boost your nervous system. So for persons who are suffering from shaking called tremors, this is your healing. 3 to 4 leaves of this plant used to make a tea taken once a day for 2 weeks reduce your tremors by over 90% long term. Next up is the guava leaf. The fruit of this plant is very powerful, but the leaves are even more powerful. The leaves of the guava tree is useful to lower blood sugar, lower cholesterol, lower your blood pressure, and is absolutely amazing if you have chronic diarrhea. The tea made from the leaves of this tree with just 3 to 4 leaves can cut any diarrhea within hours. You might not know this one. This is a leaf of an avocado tree. Now, avocado is my favorite fruit and maybe one of the most powerful fruits on the planet, but its leaves have medicinal properties, including but not limited to the treatment of diarrhea, lowering blood sugar, lowering blood cholesterol, and is useful for many types of pains, including back pain, joint pain, and headaches. I've saved the best for last. This may be my favorite and my top recommended leaf. This is the leaf of the soursop tree. Now, this has many medicinal properties. It is an adjunct to chemotherapy in the treatment of many cancers. It improves the immune system function and helps your body to kill cancer cells. The leaf of the soursop tree is also filled with natural tranquilizers, so it relaxes and calms the nerves and gives you a good night rest. Are you having difficulty sleeping? A leaf, just one leaf from this plant, can make a tea to help you to sleep better. Guess what? It's also useful for pain management. Joint pains from osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis are susceptible to the medicinal properties of this leaf. Guys, there are so many other options that we can use free or very cheap without having to resort to medication for many of our ailments. So let's get picking and using our leaves to make the various teas to heal our bodies.
Since the time I was a little girl, I only read one biography my entire life 100 times, which was Joan of Arc. I would go to bed dreaming of Joan of Arc and wishing that I could be as brave as her. And I was pretty cowardly. I spent my childhood in a closet, as many of you have heard. So becoming Joan of Arc was my dream. And so here she goes, you're Joan of Angels. Well, I was named Joan of Angels because I had been guided in 2013 to paint 33 angels in 30 days. And what I learned from that was that when spirit calls, you must learn to say yes. You must learn to say yes, show me the way. When one says no, they have an experience like I had a few years before that, where a palm reader said to me, do you know you were supposed to be famous, but you blew it? So I had a hard awakening that when spirit calls, you must listen.
Oh my God.
If something happened, don't know what I'd do. I can't imagine my life without you. Your eyes give life a new meaning. It's like I found the north lights. Oh, I never knew what I needed until I felt your hand holding mine. Yeah, you say I'm your hero, but you are the one that saved me. If I ever lost you, I'd fall to my knees.